One, two, three, the long feed. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Lawn Feed Podcast. Happy to announce we got the band back together. All three of us are here. Vince from Rooted Lawn Co.
Hey.
Chris, Opus Mo Time, and I, myself, Andrew, the Dead Bod Lawn. We appreciate you guys. We are back.
Boys are back in town.
The boys
different towns.
Are back in town. We actually been in the same town one time. But anyways, welcome back, guys. We appreciate you coming to another episode. We kind of have a special episode. Special in the sense of the holidays are upon us. We're going to be talking about some great gifting ideas for the holidays. But before we jump into that, just a quick reminder to go check out our website, thelawnfeed.com, for more podcast information. If you want to learn more about us as your host of the Lawn Feed, find out where to find us on socials, learn more about our podcast, and much, much more, head over to there and check out the sweet merch. Christmas is coming, and we're talking about gifts. Maybe some merch would be a good idea. I'd like to thank our friends over at Twin City Seed for powering this episode of the Lawn Feed Podcast. Celebrating their 30th anniversary, Twin City Seed offers elite quality and custom blends of grass seed to homeowners, turf professionals, and more. Home of the new Resilience 2, Blue Resilience, and Fielder's Choice house blends, which we collectively all have on our lawns and absolutely love. Shipping to 50 states. Check them out at twincityseed.com and look at the banner up at the top of their website for current specials and offers, along with codes for free shipping for your next seeding project, which at this point will likely be in the spring.
Unless you do dormant seeding. Sneaky.
Ooh, which we did talk about in the last episode. So
Sneaky.
if you want to learn about dormant seeding, check that out.
Check that one out. So we've got a cool little tradition on this show called Dad's Wins and Losses on the Lawn Feed Podcast that we kick off every single episode with, that we just talk about who we are at heart, which is dads and parents. This segment of the episode, like I mentioned, is called Dad's Wins and Losses, where we tap into our inner selves and highlight some of the recent wins and losses that we've experienced as parents, more venting about our losses than anything else that we take day in and day out as parents and as dads. So let's carry this tradition on. Vince, it's been a while since you've been on the show, man. Let's turn the ball over to you. Let's share some of your recent wins and losses.
Yeah, it has been a while. So thanks for having me back on, guys,
Yes,
and allowing
pleasure.
me back on here. So it's great. Yeah. No, my most recent loss was actually tonight, but it was kind of a win because I got to join in the podcast here. But I had big dinner plans with another fellow Instagrammer, the Q Dad. If you guys like barbecue, you got to go follow him. But we had nice dinner plans at this awesome restaurant, and our kids got pretty sick again, and we've kind of been battling the sickness back and forth. They get better, and a couple days later they spike fevers. So we've been losing the battle of sickness. I blame Mother Nature. It's 70 degrees, and then it's 20 degrees, and then it's 70 degrees, and
You poor thing.
yeah, it's terrible. So
70, huh? Tell me more about that.
it's beautiful. I'm gonna mow again tomorrow. My fielder's choice, and that's still growing like a banshee. So
Cool.
yeah, but no, that's the biggest loss right now. But the win is, if you guys have been following me, I recently got a Greenworks 60-volt mini bike, and the thing is awesome.
I need to see more of that.
Dude, I've been I go for like a joyride every night when I get home. It's so fun.
Honey, I'm home, and then
Yeah.
she doesn't see you for a half hour.
She doesn't hear
till
me
the
leave
battery
because it's
dies.
so quiet. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I put my girls on it, and they hold on the handlebars, and we zip around, and it has a Bluetooth speaker. So then we'll put like Humpty Dumpty playing. So we just ride around the neighborhood with Humpty Dumpty playing, or playing on
Is
it.
that a good one to play? Like when you have a kid on your
Probably
bike, like
not.
Humpty Dumpty is like talk about falling off
Probably
of something. I don't know if that's a good one.
They don't put two and two together. It's all good.
How fast do those things go?
25.
Dang.
Which it's moving.
That's that's cruising.
So
Yeah.
not street legal. So you have to like drive that. If you like, if there's sidewalks available, do you just drive that on like the side of the road, or like, how's that work? I guess what's the laws?
Depends on where you live.
You're above it.
Depends where you live. Yeah, and
True.
you know, I'm a podcaster, so I'm allowed to do kind of more things. You know, that's how it works, right?
Right. Yeah. I think
It's okay, officer.
Officer,
I'm a podcaster.
I'm a podcaster. I'm a lawn podcaster.
I'm a lawn dad.
No, my neighborhood's super. I mean, there's like 4 cars that drive down the neighborhood. So I generally, if I'm with them, I putz around in the yard. I don't go on the roads with them too much. But my neighbors still get an earful as we're going through their backyard because they don't care about their lawns. So yeah, but no, that's a big W. It's a lot of fun. So
it's fun, man. That's super cool.
Very cool.
It's fun to bring the kids out on the equipment too. Like, they get such a kick out of it. I was doing that, earlier this week, and what I thought was going to be my last mow, my like 18th last mow of the year. I ended up bringing the kids on. It's like, hey, dude, this might be the last one. Well, it's going to be like 60 degrees next week, which is a rarity up here. But they love it. They absolutely love it.
And my girls have Strider bikes, which I'm sure that's like the newest, best thing ever.
Right.
So they'll be like, Daddy, go get your bike and let's ride our bikes. So then they'll get on their bikes, fun. And then I get on that, and I just putz around with them as they go up and down the road.
Kick dirt up in their face. Yeah.
Popping wheelies, and
the thing does do a good wheelie. Let me tell you.
I saw that in one video you sent us. I was a little concerned for your health for a minute, but
I'm a professional. Boy. Yeah.
I'm a podcaster. I got this.
I got this.
If Vince is just not here one week and we don't know why, we know what happened.
He's fully casted. Yeah, it's the mini bike.
Oh, that's funny. Well, guys, it's my favorite time of year. It is basically wrapping up or warming up for Christmas. Mariah's dusted her lungs off once again.
Something wrong with you.
Hey, Vince, welcome back, buddy. We were talking about Christmas on the last episode. It wasn't even Halloween yet, and I was just getting excited. But
you think I like pumpkin spice? You wait for peppermint season, my guy.
You wait for peppermint season.
You wait.
It is time to gear up for the holidays, believe it or not. And if you think about it, like Christmas or whatever you celebrate, it's less than like a month and a half away. Like, that part's really crazy.
But you can't skip Thanksgiving.
Well, no, you can't. But
no.
You gotta, like, all the Christmas stuff. It's like, I saw a Target Christmas head like 2 days before Halloween. Like, we're there. So we're gonna do something I think really cool. And we're gonna combine our favorite lawn and garden items into a Christmas list, into like this all-star Christmas list. So if you're the lawn nut listening to this, I need you to stop listening to this right now and go steal your significant other's phones, and then resume playing this on full blast. So his or her phone can just pick that up, and all you're going to do is all they're going to have is just get blasted with lawn and garden ads for the next month and a half, and you'll get exactly what you want. And if you are a spouse of a lawn nut, congratulations, you've made it this far. We're all crazy. But now you know what to get your lawn and DIY lawn and garden enthusiast. So we have various price points that we're going to break down. And we're going to start from highest to lowest, and kind of just share our favorite value, for lack of a better term, gift that you can either purchase for yourself or give to your lawn enthusiast in your circle. We've got 500, 250, 150. So that's 4 prices, but you get the point. We'll kind of go around the horn and just kind of have some fun times. So, Andrew, let's start off at 500. What do you have for
500? It's going twice sold. Yeah, my thing that I have listed is actually a tool that I just got for this fall, and I'm kicking myself that I have never gotten one sooner. It is a backpack leaf blower. But it's not your average backpack leaf blower. It's a battery powered. It's the Greenworks 60 volt 824 CFM.
The thing's
battery
amazing.
Back powered leaf blower. Oh, it is. It's so awesome. I think Vince and I have had this conversation multiple times. As he has the same one. It's like, even if I just go to blow off the driveway, which I'd usually use my handheld blower, I'll just like one arm, like the cool backpack kid, throw that on, and it's so quiet, and you can feather that thing like so lightly to be delicate. And I just cleared my whole backyard a couple of days ago with it, and it was effortless. I mean, I might as well have just been just like two-stepping around the yard. That's what it felt like. Two-stepping. It was great.
Yeah, it's an amazing leaf blower.
Yeah, and I mean, it does require 2 batteries, but me myself, like I am invested in the 60-volt system with them, so I have plenty of batteries. And I'll tell you what, I did my entire property, which I have 12,000 square feet, and I didn't even have to like swap out the batteries. Like that's
wow.
The runtime on it was very impressive.
So does this said backpack come with the batteries for that cost?
Did. Yeah. So I don't know if this one has a tool only. Maybe it does.
So it could be even cheaper.
Yeah, it could be even cheaper if you have a bunch of the batteries already. I believe it came with 2 4 amp hour batteries. Yeah, I think they're 4 amp hour batteries. Yep. And I think the full price on it is like $490 something, so it's just under that $500 price point that we're talking about. And there's constantly sales, and we do have discount codes for various companies between the 3 of us. We will put them in the description below, and that's not why we chose any of these products, but we do have some of those available for savings for you guys too, or for your spouses to buy stuff for you. So
yeah, I think Greenworks is going to be doing probably a bunch of companies, but their Black Fridays are going to be, I mean, baller.
Oh yeah, they're already pushing stuff for Thanksgiving. Man. So yeah, keep a lookout for them.
Vince, what's yours?
Oh my $500 item would be the FlowZone battery backpack. Now it's not up to 500. I think they sit around like 330, 340. But it's something that I've used for 3.5 years now, maybe 4. Ever since I really got into lawn, yeah, I went right to the FlowZone. First it was a Strom, now I have a Cyclone. The best backpack sprayer on the market. I mean, I'm still using my Strom, even though I have the newest one. It's comfortable, it's powerful, 4 gallons. You can't beat it.
I will have to say, coming from the world of pump spraying and changing to a battery backpack sprayer, it is life-changing. Mm-hmm. How fast you can get your yard done.
And it has a little battery, but I mean, I'll charge my battery twice a year, maybe.
Yeah. I feel like every time I spray, I'm like, ooh, I should probably charge it. And I push a little indicator and it's still like full or 3/4. I was like, oh, that's cool. I mean, I went from just this season, I got one of those myself. And prior, I was using a battery sprayer, but it was like the $200 Ryobi, like you could buy at the big box store, which was great. I used it for seasons. It was a great introduction to spraying. But this thing is next level, that FlowZone. And I for an extra $150, like if you know you're going to spray, like you cannot beat the quality of this product. Mm-hmm. It is, and plus like the flow rates are crazy.
That's good stuff. I would echo that. I haven't had much experience with that, although it's because I've sprayed with it a couple times, but man, the battery, like just the battery sprayers save you so much time. It's
They're
like
game changers.
You don't like
quarter
pumping,
of the time. And your forearm is way less sore afterwards. So that's always a good thing. You could take that where you want it. But I also kind of followed the same lines. I went with a combo kit because those exist, and kind of did like a 2-for-1 thing for kind of like an entry level. Because I feel like you can get mowers pretty much. I don't know if you can get a ton of mowers, especially now that you're going into like the battery world for under $500. You can certainly find like a used, a gas one or whatever it would be. But most people have a mower. But to upgrade, the accessories, you guys have mentioned a couple accessories. I'm going to follow suit. A blower and string trimmer combo kit. It's a 40-volt HP brushless, part of their Whisper series from Ryobi. Comes in just under $500, and you get batteries included with that. It's not like a backpack like you guys had just mentioned from like Greenworks. So it's handheld and a battery, and it's one battery versus having 2, so it probably won't last as long. But great for smaller yards, great for entry level. You get 2 tools, which you can kind of can do whatever with to get your edges right and finish with that blow job, if you would, right? Because got to get those grass clippings off the road to save motorcyclists' lives, so we don't get don't get hashed on by the HOA.
And guys, before you like are listening to this podcast, you're like, oh, this is a big salesy thing. It's really not. These are we came up with this list. We're like, what are the things that we use every single time we mow or have to do a lawn treatment or something? What's the best thing that we can recommend to our viewers? And that's just what we came up with. So yeah, we're giving you more details about it, but I promise you, it's not a sales pitch or anything like that.
And to be honest, this price bracket was really hard to narrow it down to just like one or two things. There's a lot out there. I'm anxious to hear the rest of your list. Let's move on to 250. The $200 50 price points. Let's cut that budget in half. Get some either lower ticket items or better value. Andrew, what do you got?
I got the Hose Link 82-foot retractable hose reel. These hose reels you've probably seen them all over social media if you follow a bunch of guys like us. But these things you can put on the side of your house. I think a lot of us put like a post in the ground and put them on the post. And these things, you just pull them out and they retract, and then like you just kind of tug it and it loosens and it goes right back to its home. And these things, like if you deal with hoses on a regular basis, especially if you don't have in-ground irrigation and you're trying to like
big hose guy
do that, or if you have a garden that you go and you water, whatever you got to do, any kind of hose reel really is huge. It's super beneficial. But Hose Link, the quality of them, you get what you pay for with them, and their price point is I think right around $250. It may be like $260, $270. I don't get me but $250-ish, and I think we all like their product.
Yeah, I have 3 of them, and they're amazing.
Do you guys take those in the winter?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to.
I haven't yet. Take the thing off of the hook and just bring the whole thing in?
Yeah, so if you like pull the hose all the way out, open it up, and like let gravity drain it out, then let it wind back up, pick it up, put it in the garage, and you're good all winter. That's convenient. Super convenient.
I had the guy that blew up my sprinklers. I normally have a hose that runs like in the front of my house underground. It's not underground, but he blew it out for me. So he actually hooked up his compressor and blew the thing out for me too. So my front yard's good to go.
That is slick.
It is.
That's really slick. Vince, what do you got, man?
Probably one of my favorite things. I have one on every mower that I can have one on is the Big League Lawn Stripe Kit. Now I put that at the 250 range just because most people are going to have anywhere from a 21 inch to a 42 inch mower. So you might need like a 36 inch stripe kit to the 21 inch stripe kit. And they come in around like 120 to, they can get up to $600 on those bigger mowers.
Whew.
But the Big League Lawn Stripe Kit is incredible. It's such a good stripe kit. It's heavy. It's well built. It's what I ran on my Time Master. It's what I have on my Cup Cadet right now. There are some other stripe kits out there, and they're great for being able to take them on and off really easily. But this one, I always keep my stripe kits on, and they don't make the other brand. They don't make them in bigger deck sizes. So, Big League Lawn. If you want super, just incredible stripes, that's your go-to. At least my go-to.
Yeah, and your lawn looks incredible with that stuff too. Kind of following that, well, I guess not following that at all. Completely taking a U-turn.
Going next, I'm just gonna say.
Going next. So I kind of have like a group of stuff, just because I feel like you can get a decent value with this. So, I think this is the second year that I've had it. A Ratio smart controller for your in-ground irrigation. If you don't have in-ground irrigation, there is a smart hose timer that you can do for like a spigot that basically turns a DIY above ground irrigation system into like a timed irrigation system. It's really, really slick. But the smart water controller for your in-ground irrigation system, I think when I was making this list, don't quote me on this, I'm pretty sure you can pair, depending on how many zones you have, you can pair these two together and still come in under 250, well under 250. If you have like a 16 zone, that's going to be close, maybe just above. But
that'd be huge.
I was actually like looking at that. I was like, 16 zones, that's a lot. You have to have a pretty big property for that. So most homes and most subdivisions would probably be able to get away with like an 8 zone. That's what I've got. I don't even use all of them. Man, that has saved me just a ton of money on my water bill in a city that charges out the bleep for water. It has made a huge difference in terms of like actually knowing when to water and more importantly when to not water. So I'm a huge advocate for that. So that's a good gift. And then also just like a sneaky, like you can get ones less than this, but depending on the size of the bag that you get, go get some grass seed. Go get your spouse a bag or something like that for elite grass seed. And
from where?
They will from Twin City Seed, of course. Our friends over at TCS. And you can get for pretty much the best of the best, whatever blend that you want, custom anything like that for under $250.
Do they do gift cards?
They do gift cards.
Well, that might be a great option there. If you don't know what kind of grass they want or you don't want to screw that up, a gift card.
That really, if my wife was like, I got you a gift card to Twin City Seed, like,
can I marry you again?
You just know exactly what to get. Like that's just
you get
it's
me.
Pretty cool.
You get me.
It's pretty cool. We got the $100 price point coming up next. I'm gonna pass it back to Vince. We're gonna go in reverse order. Vince, what do you got, buddy?
For the $100. Oh, you know what? So my big lead was actually also in the 500, and I skipped over my 250. My 250 also included the Brindley Hardy broadcast spreader. So
that's a good one.
Yeah. Okay. So the key with this one, so I run an Earthway. It's a commercial, and they went up in price, like doubled price. But the Brindley Hardy is, I mean, they look exactly the same. It's got the large pneumatic tires. They sit just right under $250. It's got the 50-pound hopper. I mean, if you guys are running like a little Scott's Elite or something, go try a spreader with pneumatic tires, and it is a game changer. Huge absolute game changer. So anyway, that's my 250 also. But back to the $100. Something that I cannot mow without is my ISO Tunes 2.0, my headphones. They're Bluetooth, noise canceling. They have little earbud ones, the Lynx, I think it is. And then they also have the headphones, which I use when I'm mowing with the cubby. But yeah, those headphones are...
You love those.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I sometimes don't even play music. I just wear them for ear protection. They're comfortable. And I love those things. They're great. And they don't play, and they're like OSHA approved. So they won't play music over a certain amount of decibels, but they do a good enough job of keeping the outside noise from coming in that you don't need to have the music very loud. So this is going to save your hearing, but also like if you use like standard like Apple AirPods or something, and you use the noise canceling feature, you still have the music pumped way too loud into your eardrums, and this is not a good thing.
I had beats. Go ahead.
Oh, I was about to say, because Lord knows, us husbands can't hear well enough anyway. So it's good we can get all the help we can get.
Yeah, I used to have a set of Beats, and I'd get off the mower, and my ears would be ringing because I had the music up so loud. Yeah, game changer. Lots of game changers tonight, folks.
What you got, Andrew?
Big game changing night. Another new thing to me this year, the Lanzy leveling rake. I did what I would consider to be like one of my first major leveling projects back in the spring. And this is my first time using a leveling rake. And again, like so pissed that I've never used one before because it made things so much easier.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I think for around $100, I think like the 24-inch one, I recommend going up to like the 36 or 42-inch wide, which is going to run you more like 150. But these things are worth their weight in gold. It's like you can use like a drag or something, like a pallet. Like I used a pallet first and dragged around some dirt, and then I'm like, I'll just hit it with the rake, and the grass was popping up that I had no idea would pop up through it, and it was next level.
You spend so much extra energy with pallets and DIY jobs, and then
you do
the Landsy rakes too.
And something with lawn care, it's like you have to slowly accumulate these things, right? You can't, because most of us are married with kids. You can't just go out and drop thousands of dollars on an entire fleet of tools without getting yelled at or risk of divorce.
I was about to say you could do it. You just have repercussions.
Yeah,
severe repercussions.
And I think all of us are the type that it's just like I'd rather have a good marriage and a good household. And I'll break my back to have a good lawn if I have to. But then next year I'll buy this because I know I want that. I'm going to make sure I do a project that requires that. You got to plan a little bit. Like if you want a tool, you need to do a project that requires the tool.
You just got to do like girl math on that and like reverse engineer it. It's just like, honey, this thing just saved me like 2 hours in the yard each day of the weekend. Right. So like that's basically free.
Price that in as childcare for 2 hours and it just paid for itself.
See, done deal. See, you just got to be smart about it. You can do whatever you want. Just go drop like $1,500 on all this stuff, and you'll be good. So you just gotta girl math it.
Girl math it. Well, Chris, what's your $100 item for girl math here?
I've got a couple things. Vince, you mentioned a big league striper, and I think it's like a starting at situation for this too. But most entry level DIYers have like a 20 to 22 inch push mower standard, like ready to rock and roll. You got your 1/4 acre lot, and kind of going from there. If you want to stripe your lawn for one that will fit most, you have Big League that you just mentioned. Another option that Vince alluded to earlier is the Gen 3 lawn striper. From Lawn Striper with a Y, and that will fit most. And I think like on the website, don't quote me on it again, but it's like 90% of all of the gas or electric 20 to 22 inch push mowers. So if that's in your niche, go check that out. That's a little bit different. I think there's a preference based upon, a stationary lawn striper in the Big League versus one that moves in the lawn striper. But you fill it with sand, and that was a Christmas gift for me a couple of years back, and it was great. That really put me over the notch into lawn care. So that was always good. And the other one that's kind of a low key, it's over $100, but it's in between the two.
That Gen 3 we saw at GIE, and the stripes that he's putting down with that
it's insane.
He's basically equating it to like a real mower. So
well, I think what you're talking about is the game changer. I think the Gen 3, I have the Gen 3. That's just the one with the roller. You're talking about the one that has the brush behind it?
Yeah, that's coming out in the spring.
Yeah, it's got the same roller as the Gen 3, but it has that adjustable roller. That's the game changer. And I think he was also talking about, we actually saw it. It is going to be available for like zero turns and lawn tractors too.
Oh yeah, he is going to have it bigger. So
that is an option for the bigger ones, guys, as well. Yeah,
keep your eye out for that one for sure. But yeah, for the latter model, I don't even know what you want to call it. The late model. It's not late model yet. Gen 3, one that's out now. And I'm pretty sure if you're listening to this like now, it's on sale, which is pretty cool. So have at it. That's pretty sweet. The other thing that I've always been a fan of, and it's from the OG who got me into turf, is the Ryan Knorr bundle pack from Simple Lawn Solutions. And I know it goes a little bit above that $100 price point, once you include like shipping and stuff like that. But it is such a cool little bundle. You get 3 different fertilizer packs. It's got like your standard 16-4-8, a soil human there, and basically everything that you basically need just to get started. So if you've got someone who's just getting into lawn care, that's a really, really cool gift to purchase for somebody.
And even if you don't need the whole pack, like just picking and choosing products from something like Simple Lawn Solutions is great too.
Makes it easy.
I don't know about you guys, but like my mom always spends way too much money, even though I'm in my 30s. She's like, "What do you want?" And I tell her like 3 things, and she's like, "Oh, I need more ideas," and she gets everything right. Well, a couple of years back, she was like, "Hey, I was like, what is your price? Like, what is?" And she's like, $200 or something crazy, and I'm like, she's gonna keep asking me for more stuff, so let's just give her the full price here. And so I sent her like a list of 4 products. I think it was from it was the Next product. So it was like, so it was like soil is like humic acid, like a fertilizer, I think like a liquid aerate and something else. And they were all in the 2.5 gallon jugs.
Dang.
Yeah. And so I got two huge boxes of like 5 gallons delivered to my parents' house. And on Christmas Day, I had to take those home because I'm like, I'm going to use it. So I like planned out my lawn care season, the winter before. And I'm like, if I'm going to get something, I'm going to use it. And if she's going to spend the money, I'm going to make it worth her while too. So
no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah, it's like all of that stuff's good. Whether it's a bundle or just one or two things here and there, it means a lot because they'll use it or you'll use it, right? It's pretty cool. So, and then we'll probably get into, I would guess we just covered one of the most popular price points, but maybe the second most popular one is the $50 one. $50 and under. So Andrew, we'll pass back to you. What do you got?
Yeah, $50. I think like your average person's probably not going to spend much more than that. But for $50, I have another product I just put Landsy because it's one of the newer ones out there. It's a stand-up weeding tool. It's one of those tools that you put down. You pull out dandelions, crabgrass, anything that has like a deep root that you need to get the whole thing out of there. You basically put it right around the center of it and you put your foot on it and you yank the thing up, and it's so satisfying to see like a 5, 6 to 10 inch like root come out of a dandelion. Oh, it's like that crunching sound. It's so satisfying. But there's other brands out there. I actually own a one from like Friskers. I think Hoselink makes one. There's probably, I think there's like a Granddad's or something that I saw on TikTok. That's
that's been
I've never even seen those in person, but there's a stand-up weeding tool. Usually going to be about 50, maybe $30, depending on which kind of quality one you get. But you try to hand pull a dandelion, and that thing's going to snap 9 times out of 10, and you're going to have a lot better success with these things and not break your back.
Those roots are funky, man. Speaking of just dandelion root systems, it's just, they're gross. Yeah. I don't know. There's something about them. They're
impressive. That's for sure.
Very impressive. Vince, what do you got for under $50?
Yeah. You mentioned Simple Lawn. So I had basically any Simple Lawn product you can get on Amazon for like $20, $25. So even half the cost of $50. 2 for $50. But shameless plug, we have, guys, I'm serious. We have good swag. Like our t-shirts are high quality. Our hoodies are great. And you can get a lot of cool stuff, hats, stickers, whatnot on our shop for under $50. And it supports us and keeps us alive in doing this. So shameless plug, but that's a great gift idea. Stocking stuffer style.
I love it.
Beautiful.
Mine is actually something, Vince, you just picked up. It's the Garden Weasel Edge Chopper to get those nice extra crispy edges around your yard and landscaping. This is something that a lot of people, I feel like, normally would do with like a flat shovel, like a spade or something like that, and it just makes edging and cleaning up edges a breeze, and it's super, super easy. I think this comes in, I think it's on like Amazon for like $40. A lot of the Garden Weasel stuff, as you guys just mentioned, I think they have like a weed puller too, and a cultivator that I like. The cultivator I use for a lot of seeding projects. Yeah. Like they've got.
I almost put that on my list actually.
I did too. They had a combo kit for $3, but it wasn't like the 3 that I wanted to put on here.
So I guess anything Garden Weasel brand, pretty much, probably gonna fall in that price point and be, a sneaky little thing that you're gonna enjoy.
They're cool. They're on Amazon. They got a whole bunch of stuff you didn't even think of that would just make your life a heck of a lot easier.
I was actually just having a conversation with my coworker about like an edging tool, and we were talking about how a garden spade, like you have to push it down and you got to pull it all the way back up and push it down. And with these things, these cutters like that they have for like the half moon shaped edgers, you keep it in the ground and kind of just like kick it over, and it's just it makes it so much easier. I'm in a garden.
There's like a 90-degree lip on it that makes it easier to pull back.
I sharpen mine.
Ooh. Do you?
Mm-hmm. I take an angle grinder.
Angle grinder?
Oh yeah.
If you're already doing the blades, you might as well, right?
If you want to increase your edge game just a little bit more, go.
Dang, I wouldn't have even thought of that.
I hope you keep that high up in the garage on something so the kids can't get a hold of that thing.
No, it's on the ground.
Yeah, something like that.
I expected nothing less.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, On that note,
I was about to say, there you have our Christmas list, and we'll just shove that one under the rug.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, it's that time of year. It's time to start thinking about gift giving. Whether you're a lawn nut and need to give that list to your significant other, or you are a significant other with a DIY lawn enthusiast. It's a pretty good starting point. And yeah, reach out if you got any questions on it. We're happy to point you in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's kind of just do a quick recap of our seasons in our lawn, the good, the bad, whatever we want to discuss. Let's just kind of go around the horn and, what projects are you proud of this year? What are you looking forward to? What gave you some troubles and that kind of thing? How about you, Vince?
I think it's kind of like what wins and losses for our season, right?
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. So I think the biggest struggle I had was actually my front lawn this year. So we had a really we didn't have any snow in the winter, so we came into the season on a drought already, and it was really tough to keep my Kentucky bluegrass, which is in the front, surviving. So I actually had to take it up to like 2 inches and rotary mow it all summer, but then the disease pressure was just insane. And once I started feeling like I got to a good point, everything was controlled. I was like, great, now we can put down some growth regulator, and drought kicks in. And yeah, it's irrigated, but it never really recouped until the fall. And then
what is irrigated?
Irrigated.
Something like that,
Yeah,
right?
irrigated.
Okay.
Yeah. He cheese grated some water over
I cheese grated some water. Yep. So
however you got to get it wet.
Yeah. Well.
Moist.
Yeah. So
Moist.
we came in the fall and got hit with another fungus. I mean, it was just a really strange year for fungus. A really bad year for dollar spot. Even with preventatives, it was tough. But hey, the front's looking good again. We're back at it. And I think the biggest success that I had was I did a complete renovation, 2,700 square foot, tilled it all up, killed it, tilled it, graded it, planted Fielder's Choice perennial ryegrass from Twin City Seed. And I don't know, guys, how do you think I turned out?
I want to come lay on that.
Yeah, I just want to.
And I will not be clothed. I will not be clothed while I'm laying on that. Just so you know, full disclosure, take the kids somewhere.
All right, so I'm out. But
Yeah,
you can have fun frolicking in his yard.
Frolicking indeed.
It looks good, man.
Dude.
It looks really good.
Lights out.
they say.
Well, you had some washout too, and you were a little bit worried at first, and it ended up.
That was a challenge.
Yeah, it's a hurdle,
Mhm.
right? But you overcame a lot of that and adjusted, and it came out really nice.
Yeah, good nutrition plan, and yeah, keep it growing and keep mowing, and it thickened up pretty good.
Yeah.
Classic case of rule number 1, don't panic, and rule number 2, refer to rule number 1 in your case. Because you had texted me, you were like, is this going to fill in? And I go, trust the process, buddy.
It's so hard sometimes, but you have to.
And it turned out really good. You should be proud of that, man.
Dude, your drone shot that you, I think, posted, or I don't know, did you
That's going to
make
be
a
a
video?
reel soon. Yeah, it's going to be a reel soon.
All right. So it is so cool to see because, like, you have 3 different lawns, essentially.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you treat them all differently, which is, I think, is a huge reason why I don't want to do something like that. But it's a lot more effort and thought process. But it's so cool because, like, you can tell they're different, but they all look beautiful.
Thanks.
You're welcome,
Yeah,
man.
thanks,
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Thanks.
Oh, man. Man. How about you, man? What do you got, Andrew?
Oh, well, the season started off with, first my fence got replaced, and that was like a huge win.
Big fence
for
guy.
me because my fence was literally falling apart. And if you follow me, I incorporate my fence into some videos, which you'll probably see a lot more of going forward. But yeah, a bobcat came in, and not the animal, but like the machine, and it tore up a lot of my yard, put big ruts in it. And so I did a leveling project, and it was a successful leveling project, except for it was a terrible spring to grow grass. Just with the same conditions Vince was talking about, lots of drought. Like it went from like winter to summer in like a snap. And so it was tough to establish grass seed. in the areas that I had to put a lot of dirt in, like basically start fresh in those areas. So I did get some weeds growing in there, and I just kind of knew it's kind of like trusting the process. You just can't expect to have a beautiful lawn, especially when you're seeding in the spring, right? It's not the best time. Fall is for cool season, so I knew that I'd be able to treat the weeds just in time for seeding in the fall, and you wouldn't even know it. I mean, it's beautiful, and it's as flat as it's ever been, and I'm super happy with it. My front lawn is, and then I overseeded the entire lawn, introducing more tall fescue. I used Resilience 2 from Twin City, and my lawn has never been so thick. It's so fun to walk on like barefoot, because you just like almost don't feel like you hit dirt in some places. It's so thick.
But it looks good.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I'm super, super happy with it. But along those same lines, in my front lawn, I killed off about half of it 5 years ago for Poa Triv. And I think like literally where the line was that I didn't kill, and like the outskirts of it, I'm starting to see some Triv. So I am going to have to figure out if I want to deal with it for a season or kill off all the area that I didn't kill off previously next year. And plant brand new. But it looked great all year, but now that the temperatures are getting cooler, that's kind of when POA and stuff like that thrives. So I'm starting to see some light green, and it grows a little bit faster. But in the middle of the summer, I mean, it blended in so well. You wouldn't even have known. So I don't know what I'm going to do about it, but that's kind of like my wah-wah. So,
but Chris, what you got?
Well, let's see. I for sure have one loss. Absolutely have one loss. And that was on one of the yards that I was doing. It was one of the makeovers that I was doing this year. We got all the prep work done, did all the things, and then we seeded, and like we were starting to notice, like I'd done like 4 or 5 other time makeovers, at about the same time. And like all of these other projects were just cruising, looking great and doing the deal. And this one was like, nothing was happening. I go, what on earth? That's so weird. Like, sounds like an isolated incident. And what we figured out happened was this particular house has a service come and fertilize their yard. Ooh. And their neighbor also has this. They're both of the neighbors. So on either side, both of them have the same exact service. So the guy's just kind of like going through the yards. I can see it from the tire tracks. Like full there length. Is no like separation of fertilizing the yards. Yeah. Exactly. They just went back and forth for all 3 yards. Well, turns out pre-emergent was late.
In the fall?
No. This was in the spring. This was in the spring. And so, because like and what happened was they got the address wrong. Almost sure of it, because the other house on the left-hand side of the one I just mentioned was full of weeds, just out of control. And like we started looking at each other like, yeah, I'm pretty sure we did the exact same process of like all the other ones, and same time, no washouts, no weather risks at all. It was actually a really good spring to do all of these makeovers. And look at each other's like, that definitely happened. And the guy's like, no, it didn't. I was like, let's see the receipts. It happened. So when you deal with services like that, you just kind of have to, what? It's just something to watch out for.
I have heard so many people that have had their lawns sprayed by companies I didn't hire, like because they got the addresses wrong. It happens a lot more than people realize. Well, and if you don't care about your lawn, you're probably like, sweet, free stuff. But if you care about your lawn and you have plans like us, like seeding, that could be a huge deal. Or if you just laid down fertilizer yourself the day before, you're burning up an entire lawn by over applying.
Yeah, and in this case, it was, and in a lot of these, it's the person selling you the service is not the same person applying it.
No.
So like you're, some high schooler, college age kid, whatever it was applying it, and that there's quality control, right? So you just have to watch out. It's a common mistake. I hear a lot. Andrew, you're right. I think a lot of people deal with it, and that's where a lot of the frustration comes in. It's like you have to do extra planning and all that stuff. But that was certainly a headache. We hit it in the fall, and everything was fine, and their lawn actually looks amazing. But they had to wait a full season of like having a crappy yard again. You know what I mean? But The win for me was I've got two. I'm going to select one just for purposes of time, but there was one makeover I did. It was 99% weeds, and the transition with this one, we ended up putting a sun and shade mix from Twin City Seed down, and we beat it to death with dethatching. We aerated it probably 3 or 4 times over. And we did what we had to do to kind of get the weed control problem down. But then we basically treated it like a bare soil, like seeding project. Mm-hmm. And it's going to take a couple seasons to get this like fully how we want it, because it was that bad. But this thing turned out great. Like, these people just moved into the house. They're starting a family, which is super exciting. And we are like, they come in and they're like, I don't even know where to start. Like, who do we call? We call Ope, and 2 months later,
they still have nothing.
I'm over there covered in dirt, making their lawn look worse than it actually is. And they're like, what did we get ourselves into? And
YouTubers.
Well, and then like we seeded, seeding day was like, end of August. And then I think it was over like Labor Day weekend, it was like darn near 100 degrees. Like, not ideal for a seeding day, but like we had to get it down. And I was like, just keep that thing wet. And it turned out just phenomenal. So that was a huge win. They're super pumped up, and it's a new house and they get a new lawn, and now all of a sudden they're like neighbors are like, what did you do? Mm-hmm. Like, that's awesome. So no, man, it's sweet. The wins are cool. The wins are easy. It's it's the learning experiences and the learning moments that are the fun ones. More frustrating than anything, but that's how we all grow, right?
Absolutely. There are no losses, as you always say, just learning opportunities.
Learning moments.
Moments, yes, moments.
Got to take some on the chin.
Always,
sure.
Always. Well, thanks, guys. This has been a good episode. To anybody who is looking to maybe get something for Christmas or the holidays, or put something on a list, if you're wondering if we have some sort of discount code for whatever company brand that you're looking for, feel free to shoot us a message on socials or hit us up on our website for our contact page. We'll let you know if we have a discount code for you to help save you a little bit of cash this time of year, because everybody's dropping a lot of coin around the holidays. So, and along the same lines, Brad15 over on our website. That code Brad15 will get you 15% off on some lawn and feed swag. And happy holiday shopping, everybody. On behalf of myself, Chris, and Vince, we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye-bye.
See you.